It's just who I am, where I'm from, man. Where I'm from, we wear do-rags, and I think it's gonna resonate with everybody who wore do-rags growing up. And they recognize it's the good silk, not the bad silk, because you got bad do-rags out there too. But yeah, and then like somebody made a comment and they asked me under one of the pictures, under the cover actually, it was like, kind of reminds me of Rambo. Was you inspired by Rambo? And I think that the pose of like me tying my do-rag, I think that it signifies strength. Like I'm ready for war, I'm ready for anything. I'm tying everything up. I got my head on my shoulders and everything is just like there, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what I would like to. It was a dope ass cover. I didn't even really think about it. It's dope for a reason, but it's all of these different meanings that keep popping up for it, which is cool. People make their own meanings up for it, which is dope. From the last project to this one, I've grown a lot. You know, and it showed me no matter how big you get or how much you accomplish, you'll still be striving. You know, I link up with, you know, Puff, or I link up with, you know, talking to Jay-Z or Dr. Dre, and I'll ask them, you know, what keeps them still striving, you know. And, you know, they have everything you would think, like, but they you know, some of them want to be a better friend or a better husband, or, you know, they want to be, you know, it's more business to conquer. It's other territory that they want to take over. Maybe they've been very lucrative in music and fashion. They want to dive into film now. So there's always new things and new obstacles to jump, to hurdle across. Yeah. Well, it was just about representing both coasts, you know what I'm saying? Letting people know that I get down for all coasts, you know what I'm saying? At the last part of my line, I say, I love the East, but shout outs to every coast, South and North and even West Coast. So like, it's just representing everybody as hip hop as a nation. Yeah. Man, that's huge to have Cam'ron on my album because he's one of the greats. He's one of the guys that we looked up to growing up. I got a chance to see him in the streets, you know what I'm saying? With the Lamborghini, with the pink range, you know what I'm saying? With the whole Dipset, Jewels, you know, seeing Jim Jones. So it was definitely one of those moments where I felt like, wow, this is a dope moment, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to hold on to it forever. I didn't want it to ever end. That's why I'm glad we got a chance to put it on wax. I haven't worked with Jay-Z. I really want to work with Jay. And I know it's gonna happen. And I really want to work with, I would love to sit down. And sometimes when I say work with people, it just be like conversation sometimes. It's like, it ain't even like, I ain't even pressed for no verses or nothing like that. It's just, you know, sitting down with them and getting their views on things. You know, sitting down with Quincy Jones and asking him about musicality and, you know, the evolution of music, and sitting down with Stevie Wonder and talking about Songs in the Key of Life and what inspired him for that album. And, you know, it's one of my favorite albums. You know, just really having fun with it, and man, Still Striving is one of the projects where it's like, you know, I just let my shoulders down. You know, it's an open door policy for me and my friends just to get together. You know, everybody. You know, bring your DJs. I mean, bring your producers, bring your homies, whatever. You know, we got together in the studio and we just created like a bomb album, and it shows. You know, through the features I got, it's like all homies. You know, we got in and we just created like some of our favorite songs, because it wasn't like we just went in there and did one song. A lot of us went in there and did about 3 songs, picked the favorite song out of the 3-4 songs, and that's the joint that made the album.
So
mixtape. Yeah. It's a mixtape.
So were you actually in the studio with everyone that's on it?
Yeah, I was in the studio with everybody. The only person I wasn't in the studio with was Meek for the verse. That's because he just jumped back on tour and was flying around and everything. But you know, everybody, we created like a community of artists just getting together, turning up.
Now that's rare in 2017 that you actually in the studio.
Hell yeah! The way it turned out for me was I was just getting off tour. I just wanted to hang out with my dudes, and like whoever came to the city and had shows, you know, whether it was the Mob, you know, whether it was like Made in Tokyo, whether it was like, you know, whoever was on the project, they was like, yo, Ferg, we got a show, I want to bring you out. It was like, and I was like, I bet we could go to the, we could go do the show, and I got a room at Quad. What's up? You want to go? Like, we go into Quad and we record something, just on some fun shit. And it was nights where, like, you know, I got Cam on the album. You know, I go to his house and we supposed to be recording. He got a studio in his house, and we just wound up just talking. Just like talking about old stories. I'm asking him about Dame Dash, asking him about Rockefeller days. You know, we talking about everything. So it's like pretty dope. Yeah.
Is that the most memorable experience from making this project?
No, I think the most memorable experience is like being at Quad and locking it down for about 2 months. You know, locking down the rooms and everybody hearing that like I got these sessions happening. It was almost like word of mouth was spreading so fast. Like, because it was like I had everybody. If you was somebody in the city, you was there. And they was like, yo, we fucking with Ferg for his sessions. So it became the spot, almost like where you pull up, you might see the Migos there, you might see Famous Dex, Rich Kid, he's getting the other room, and then randomly one day Andre 3K walked upstairs, my uncle walks him in the room like, yo, my nephew in there, whatever, and we start talking, catching a vibe, he goes in the next room, Cam comes upstairs, and I'm like, yo, 3K here, you haven't met Andre? He like, yeah, I met him a while back, and I linked them together, we start all talking. So it was just like, that was the vibe. And just like I'm telling these stories, imagine the art that came from out of that, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to work with Andre 3K. He was working on some stuff, but just the conversation that sparked the energy was what went into this project. Yeah. Well, you know, I never stopped doing music, you know, to do fashion. I'm always doing both. But you know, fashion for me right now is like the cherry on top, and I love to do it. I design, but what I'm doing and what, you know, everybody knows me for is my music. So, you know, I hold the music very dear to me, and you know, I do fashion. You know, I design all my merchandise. I design Trap Lord, the clothing brand. I designed these Adidas that I have on my feet. I got a new line coming out with Adidas capsule collection September 2nd. And yeah, so I take on projects as I go along, but yeah, I never stop doing the music. And my thing is like, I want to be like fresh to where nobody can match my fresh. And if you want this swag, you gotta pay for this swag. You know what I'm saying? Because I made it, I created it, so yeah. Dapper's the OG. You know, he's like my uncle. You know, blood can make us closer. My father was his protege. So it's definitely a gap in generations. But, you know, I found him and we came together and we picked up where him and my pops left off. And he teaches me a lot because he lived the life of about 3 men. You know what I'm saying? And he's an older guy. He knows life. He knows what I'm about to get into, what I'm experiencing. So he's definitely a guide. And yeah, I love him. Like, you know, he's a dope dude. Like, even beyond the whole fashion thing, he's deep. So I learned a lot from him. He's a teacher. It's funny because I grew so fast. Like, the moment I got signed and I started traveling and I started really doing music, time flies past, and you know, I'm growing fast, you know. Not necessarily in age, but just in my spirit and just my growth, my knowledge. You know, I travel the world, I get to see how other people live. I get to see how it's like in UK, you know what I'm saying? I get to see what they eat and the difference between the food from over there and over here. And go to Africa and see how the people live in Africa. And I don't take life for granted, and I appreciate life on a whole nother level. I just started painting again. I just did a huge canvas. I think it's a huge canvas. I forget the size, but yeah, I finished that. I did like a remake of my album cover, which is dope. It should be like, it's gonna be special. I'm gonna release it. It's gonna have like this whole rollout behind it, but it's a dope painting. And I design every like I get in these pockets where it's like I have like a free week or not even like a free week or like spots in my days where I can just dibble and dabble in other things, and that's when I take time to do art.